welcome back to my channel. If you haven't seen my face before, my name is Jessie Cat, or just Jessie, and I normally do videos on anything pertaining to history and also my little side NDDLG relationship, but today I want to talk about something serious, more serious than some of the things that I've already spoken about. I want to discuss a very hard topic for me to talk about. So this is going to be kind of a difficult video for me. Sorry, it's already a little difficult. I want to put out a trigger warning. I'm going to be talking about mental illness and suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation, getting help for mental illness. I want this to be a mental illness awareness video because I do suffer from a mental illness. And I want to get real, I want to get honest, and I want to talk about something that is very important that I'm sure I'm not the only one dealing with a mental illness. Things are a little harder for mental illness right now because of what's going on in the world. I know I've kind of touched on mental illness in the Trans-Allegheny video and also said that I suffer from a mental disorder. So now I just want to share how mental illness really affects me, my life, my relationships, my job, and why it is so important to seek help and continue being vigilant about your mental illness, about your mental health. Now, I have bipolar disorder, and if you've ever heard about this, you know how the ups and downs can be pretty bad and very life-altering. Oh, I just realized my Chromebook was in the screen. Sorry about that. So I'm going to read a basic definition that is online, but I'm also going to explain to you how a person suffering with this, it is so much different than just getting online and looking at this definition. So, just a second. Sorry, I had to look up the definition because I wasn't completely prepared for this video, even though I have been planning on doing this video for the past few weeks now. Okay, what is bipolar 1 disorder, which is what I have? There are varying levels of bipolar. They've even extended it out even more to just like manic depressive and bipolar 2, and there's just different things, but I'm going to focus on just the bipolar 1, which is what I have. Bipolar 1 disorder is a condition that causes periods of severe changes in your mood, activity levels, energy, and ability to carry out everyday tasks. These changes are commonly called mood episodes, which I do have. I forgot to plug in my mic. Okay, I hope that's better. I had to plug in my mic. So you may hear the heater in the background because this right back here is actually where our heater is. I have a very small house, but yeah, you'll be able to hear the heater. I apologize for that. I've tried finding things to get rid of that and it just doesn't help. So to get back to what I was saying, although you may feel like you're the only one if it's happening to you, there are millions of Americans affected by bipolar disorder each year. While anyone can develop this disorder, it often starts in the late teen or early adult years and it lasts a lifetime. Children and older adults may develop this disorder as well. Medical researchers believe that it can result from many factors, including an imbalance of certain chemicals in the brain called neurotransmitters, which may be too high or too low. So that is the basic definition of this. And I got this off of the site called, oh, it's for medication. It's a medication site, I guess for a new bipolar medication or something that I haven't heard of yet because I haven't taken it. So the symptoms can be very, very wide ranged. They can affect everybody in different ways. This is just their basic list for these symptoms. Everybody experiences mental illness in varying degrees, in different ways, how they handle it, how they deal with it. That's just what it is. Bipolar disorder can cause unpredictable high and low mood swings, also known as manic and depressive episodes. It's important to predict how long mood episodes may last. You might be severely depressed for a brief or extended period of time before entering into a manic episode. Mania could last anywhere from days to months as well. You may even experience manic and depressive symptoms at the same time, which is known as mixed episodes. So that's basically what it is. Now, with that said, it is a continuous daily struggle for me to accomplish anything, to not let my moods get the best of me. I saw a saying in a doctor's office that I went to for medication management, and it said something along the lines of, it's exhausting pretending to be normal every single day. And this is true for a lot of mental illnesses out there that people struggle with. It's not just bipolar. There's all of the anxiety ones. There's PTSD. I have a family member who struggles with that because of an abusive relationship they were in before. I've kind of glossed over some of my past, but I've also dealt with certain types of abuse, which that particular person was basically a trigger for me and would cause this rapid cycling. And I do tend to have rapid cycling a lot. We will get more into that. I feel like I walk around day in and day out with this monster inside of me that's clawing its way out, trying to break free. I can only do so much to keep it caged, even with therapy and medication. Then I go through these cycles of, oh, hey, I'm feeling great and I don't need the meds. Or I don't like the way they make me feel, so I'll stop taking them. And then guess what happens? I end up in a huge funk. My symptoms out of control. My mood's out of control. I say things I don't mean. I do things I usually wouldn't. I stop taking care of myself. I either sleep too much or sleep too little. Always on edge. My anxiety is always super high. I'm always snapping off at people, and people that don't even deserve it. I can't handle being around a lot of people. Or just people in general. I would rather stay in my house and hide and just sit here and do nothing. It takes a lot of work for me to get myself up off the couch to even accomplish simple tasks like taking a shower. Then I just get so lost inside my head that never shuts off. It just runs and runs over and over from one thing to the next. It's just rapid thoughts, just firing this way, that way, everywhere. My brain just never shuts off. Then I dwell on things that normally aren't a big deal, like the dog having an accident in the house, and it sets me off. Or my son trying to just play around with his normal smart preteen mouth, and sets me off. Shoot, I could just stub my toe and I throw a massive tantrum. That's not good. The depression side of this is all that, but then I get so down, I sit and think of all the reasons why I'm a total mess up, that I'm not good enough for my family, my kids, my fiance, how I feel like I can be such a burden because this is just a cycle that consistently repeats itself. There's been times that I have been suicidal and ended up hospitalized because of it. I have spent 2 separate times, this has been years ago, when I was first diagnosed with it. I want to say probably about 10 years ago or so. I was mid-20s when I was finally diagnosed with bipolar 2, or I was originally diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder, and then they eventually upped it to bipolar 1. And I used to make a lot of jokes about it to people because a lot of people can see the different things going on with you. They can see that you're extremely irritated one second, and the next second you're like bouncing off the walls, or this day you just got all of this stuff done, but then the next day I just want to sit there and do absolutely nothing, just curl inside myself. People notice those things. So I used to make jokes about my mental illness, about how, yeah, I'm crazy, and my doctor's got a file folder this thick because I'm so crazy. You don't need to joke about it like that. It's not a good thing, because you're not crazy. I'm not crazy. I have a mood disorder that I have a hard time dealing with. So I've been violent. I've never hurt anybody, but I have thrown things. I have just thrown huge fits where I've thrown things. I've broken things. I've thrown things at people. It's just, I've cussed people out. It's not good. And then sometimes I can get violent thoughts about, well, this is what this person did to me, so I want to get revenge, and this is what I'm going to go do to them. I'm just being completely honest about my condition here, because I want people to be aware of mental illnesses. And my dogs are going crazy, running around the house. So if you hear a bunch of noises, that's because my girls are running around. I've never hurt anybody, but the internal damage is worse than the physical. The things I say that I don't mean hurt the people that I love the most. Now, as for more of the highs of my disorder, I get so much done. I accomplish all those tasks that I wasn't able to before. I'm happier than I've been in a while. I can be super overly sexual, excited, full of energy in life, feeling like I'm on top of the world. But the bad side of that would be me making choices I don't usually make, like spending too much money on things that I don't need, and so on. But when I crash hard, and that's when people notice there's something wrong. It's a vicious cycle. Half the time I don't even know who I am. I feel so disconnected from everything around me. And I get like that occasionally. And in my instance, medication only does so much, but we'll get more into that later. The ultimate truth is I suffer from a mental illness, and without help from doctors and therapists and my family's unconditional love for me, I wouldn't be here right now. So I want to encourage everyone that if there's something going on, reach out. Seek help. There is no shame in needing to do that, and needing or having to lean on others to make sure you make it through whatever it is you're going through. Suicide is not the answer, no matter how many times I've thought about it and even made a plan. I also know deep and down inside, under all that darkness, that I am important, that I am loved and needed. I am not worthless. So please reach out to a family member, a close friend. If you're not comfortable with that, talk to your doctor, get help. When we let our mental health go and let those illnesses take over, I know it's hard. I know how hard it is to pull yourself from that, and we can't do it alone. We are never alone in this, no matter how much we feel like we are. And that is the honest truth. Now, here's advice to those around anyone who deals with any kind of mental illness. Please, please, educate yourself on whatever they're dealing with. Take notes. Watch for the warning signs. And yes, there are warning signs. Continue to check on that person. Ask questions, even if they are reluctant to answer. In the lows of bipolar, it is very important to know we have people who love us and want what's best for us. But we also have to be aware of all the signs, and no matter what, never stop taking the doctor's advice. Always take your meds. Seek counseling if needed. If you're having side effects from the meds, don't just stop taking them. Make an appointment. Talk to your doctor. I know right now they have a lot of online doctor stuff. Like for me, I have like this teledoc thing. But the only problem with the teledoc thing is I can get like therapy through the teledoc, but they won't prescribe medication. So that's kind of, you know, it's a good but a bad thing at the same time, because they can't give you your medication. That's something you have to actually go to a doctor, psychiatrist, psychologist for. or a medication management doctor. Push yourself a little bit more every day to rise up out of the funk, the darkness, even if it's setting one simple task for that day. Like take a shower. Then the next day, add shower and brush teeth. I know how odd it sounds, but it helps tremendously. When I get into such a funk, which I will admit, I have been in a huge funk lately, because I got to a point where I'm in a really, really good, healthy, secure relationship. And I have a really good life right now. And I thought, well, I'm taking all of this medication. I don't really like the side effects of it. So guess what? I'm feeling better. I'm in a really good relationship. I don't have to worry about my triggers. I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to worry about that. I just stopped taking the medication. And my fiance, of course, knows bits and pieces about the disorder that I have, but he doesn't completely understand it as a whole. So he was like, well, okay, if you feel like you don't need to take them, then it's okay. Now he's kind of kicking himself for that because of how I've been feeling lately. It's not his fault, though. It's not his fault at all. Then once you start getting yourself to do the small things, then move on to the harder stuff, like the pile of laundry that needs done, the nasty dishes in the sink. Set aside family time one night a week. Watch an uplifting, funny movie together, or play a board game or something. Another thing that helps me is keeping a journal. Even when you don't feel like writing in it, or when I don't feel like writing in it, force yourself to do it anyway. Even if it's just one sentence about how you are feeling that day. Write it in there. Or write down, like my fiance the other day had me write down 10 things that I liked about myself, and then 10 things that I didn't like about myself. And I'm like, oh, well, that's going to be easier to find the things that I hate about myself than it is to find the things that I like about myself. But when I push myself to do this, and he told me this was going to happen. He said, once you get to the 10 things you don't like about yourself, it's going to be really hard for you to find those 10 things. And honest to God, it was. I literally was struggling with the things that I don't like about myself. And the top of the list was my mental illness is the main thing I don't like about myself, because I don't do the things that I need to do to fix it. The journaling helps to get all those thoughts in your head out and maybe make some sense to them. The best way for me to get out of my head is distraction. I have a lot of emotional baggage that I am still working on. And when it becomes too overwhelming, too much, I'll get on my Kindle, find a good book by one of the many favorite authors I love, and I let myself get lost in that fantasy world. Music is another good one. I listen to a lot of different types of music. But when I'm in the funk, I don't want to listen to those sad songs. I want to listen to the good, uplifting songs. Maybe you're a faith-based person with beliefs in God. Sit and pray. Listen to uplifting worship music. Read your Bible. I know without God in my life, I'd have fallen a lot farther than I have. Yes, I am a believer 100%. I have faith. If you've been following me since my channel started, you're probably asking yourself right now, how does my alternative lifestyle fit with faith? That's a topic for a whole other video, and if you're interested, let me know and I'll make a video on that later. And also, I'm saying faith. I'm not saying religion or being religious, because guess what? I'm not tied to any particular religion, but I have faith in God, in a relationship with God. It is not about religion. Religion is made up by people. That is just how I feel about that. And this is a whole controversial thing, but there is a huge difference between being a part of a religion, going to a church regularly, and actually having that relationship with God. But again, that's another topic for another time. Well, I really just wanted to share this with people in hopes that it gains awareness. There's too many stigmas around mental health, and I'll be the first person to stand and say, I'm not crazy. Well, debatable, just joking, but it's not about being crazy. Okay, we are not crazy, just different, unique. We are important. We are not worthless. we are loved, even when we don't feel like we are. So that's what I have today. And I hope this helps someone out there watching. You are not alone. We are not alone. Never forget that, please. So if you've enjoyed this video today, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this, or content from some of my previous videos on history, or having a random date day with some makeup thrown in there. I hope everyone has a really good rest of your day or evening. And if you have any comments, questions, anything, do not hesitate to put them in the comment section. I am on Instagram. I'm still figuring that one out because it's not the same name as what I use on my YouTube. It is actually like Creek Jessica or something like that. I'll try to figure out how to link it all down below. But anyway, you can send me messages on there. My Facebook is private. I keep that private. That's just for me and my, family. So Instagram is basically where I tend to do my social media stuff and keep up to date with my YouTube channel. I'm not a very big channel. I'm very small. I have 9 subscribers, which I do appreciate you all for that. I would like to set a goal for 100 in the next couple of months. That would be great. So anyway, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you all in the next one. Oh, wait, update. I have Shein stuff coming. So I think the next one is going to be a little Shein haul. And I want to go into how to be little on a budget without spending a lot of money on what certain adult sites deem little stuff. You can find little stuff everywhere. So I think that's going to be the next video. I don't know when I will get it done and uploaded. My package should be here today, so we'll see. I'm really excited about that. I'm trying to pull myself out of the funk that I've been in lately. I'm not working, so I'm home a lot. The reason behind that is because I was in such a bad place. I pulled myself away from my job because it was affecting my job and affecting the people that I work with. And my job as a CNA, you are around residents, and I didn't want to, I knew my agitation and anxiety levels were getting very high, and I did not want to snap on anybody. And I had a feeling that there would be a huge blow up if I didn't pull myself away from the situation. So now I am focusing on myself, my mental health, getting the help that I need, and so on and so forth. I've got my whole family behind me. I have my son, my fiance, who is wonderful. He's trying to, push me to get things done. That is basically all I have for today. So I guess I will see everyone in the next one. So bye, y'all.